Shalom, shalom, and give all praise to Yahweh Bashim Yoshua Bashim Rakakadash, the honors to the elders and apostles for the edification and knowledge. And to Wadi Yahweh Bashim Yoshua for putting the spirit of the elders and apostles so we become edified, knowing his truth and knowledge. Call holy Yahweh Bashim Yoshua Bashim Rakakadash, give all praise to Yahweh Bashim Yoshua Bashim Rakakadash. A few scriptures relating to just war. Matthew 26 and 52. Then said Yahweh Shai unto them, put up again thy sword into his place. For all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. So you use the sword, you'll die by the sword. He taught that Peter, because Peter had his sword. Put thy sword away. Because the Lord can, if he wanted to, he could do he had angels do certain things. But it wasn't time for that, man, because he had to fulfill the will of his father, Yahweh. And so he had to fulfill the will of the purpose of his father, man. For I come to fulfill the will of my father, man. So the point is, one who kills with the sword will die by the sword, man. And symbolically, that's what the ones in power have been doing. They've been using the sword because that's their blessing, man. And they gain the fatness of the earth, man, by using that sword, man. By the sword thou shalt live, man. The earth has been given to the hands of the wicked, man. Ecclesiastes 3 and 8. A time to love, a time to hate, a time of war, a time of peace. So we're in a time of war. Hearing of wars, rumors of wars. Matthew 24, Luke 21, Mark 13. That's what you're seeing with the fiasco relating to Ukraine and Russia, man. Russia continues to bomb more cities, man. Ukrainian cities, man. A few more, Mariupol and some other ones, man, going towards the west, man. Dnipro and some other ones. There was reports of NBC News and Crux Report talking about, these continuing bombing of these cities, man. And these refugees, millions of them are fleeing, man. So we're not in a time of peace. We're in a time of war. Everything has a purpose under the sun. That goes with Ecclesiastes 3 and 1. There's a time and purpose for a season, man. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. 5 and 9. Peacemakers. Matthew 10:34. Think not that I come to send peace on earth. So peace is not being sent on earth. I come not to send peace, but a sword. That sword is that judgment, man. And part of that sword is that division. Luke 12:51. Think not that I come to send peace, nay, but division, man. So you're seeing division, you're seeing war, you're seeing pestilence, you're seeing calamities, you're seeing different atrocities happen all over the world, man. And a few scriptures up, a few verses up, 1249. Relating to the fire and already be kindled, paraphrasing. So that fire is being set forth, man. The fire, the sword, the division is already happening, man. Because these things would be spoken that they would happen, man. Yeah, Yahweh Shai said a generation will experience these things happening, man. We're in the times that is happening, man. 2 Ezra 8:50. I go over it all the time. For many great miseries shall be done in the latter times, because they walk in pride, man. So many great miseries, calamities, and different atrocities are going to happen. What? In the latter times. Because what? Ultimately, because of pride, man. Wickedness that's been polluted and exceedingly on the earth, man. That's why these judgments, that's why these things are happening, man. Matthew 24, 6-7. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. So you're going to hear of wars and rumors of wars. Rumors of wars and actually wars that's happening, man. These are proxy wars, different countries. Israel, Iran, Syria, U.S., China, Russia, Ukraine, China, Taiwan. You got India, Pakistan, all these countries, man, that you're hearing relating to wars and rumors of wars, proxy wars, pre-drills of wars, assimilations of wars. North Korea, all these nations, man, because there's going to be tension among the nations, man. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. So all these things got to come to pass, man. This is part of prophecy, but the end is not yet. These are just relating to the beginning of the latter stages of the end, man. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And that's what you're seeing. These nations, these kingdoms rising up against one another, man. The tensions between the kingdoms, the tensions between the nations. And there shall be famines, pestilence, and earthquakes. You've seen a lot of famines. You've seen pestilence, earthquakes in different places, man. Things that normally wouldn't happen in certain places. You're seeing that. Strange things in different places, man. Strange calamities, strange forms of phenomenal things that normally wouldn't happen, man. You're seeing the signs from the heavens relating to the moon, the stars. All these things are the signs before the precursors, all the precursors before Yahweh Bashim shall come back, man. So these are all these things that will happen, man. John 8:18 and 36. Yahweh shall answer, my kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then my servants, which are the prophets, fight, that I should not be delivered to the Jews. But now is my kingdom henceforth. So it's not time, man. This is not the kingdom, and it's not time for certain things, man. Because if it was, certain things would be set up already, man. But they're not. Everything has its time and season, man. And according to its purpose, man. It's Romans 13 and 4. For he is the minister of God to thee for good. For if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain. So the evildoers, the sword is not going to be in vain. It's not going to be merciful, man. For he is the minister of Yahweh, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil, man. Ecclesiastes 39. For the Lord created spirits for vengeance, evil spirits for vengeance, man. And they shall lay on sore strokes and appease the one that made them, man. That's 39:28. Get a good example. The wild beast. And the famine, pestilence, death, and destruction. Different types of tools or instruments used for punishment, man. That's Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 39 and 28 on down to about 31 verse. Psalms 144 and 1. Blessed be the Lord my strength, which teacheth my hands to war and my fingers to fight. So teacheth the fingers. To hands to war and fingers to fight. So that combat, man. 5:44, but I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good unto them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. Relating to your brother. Luke 6:27-31. But I say unto you which hear, love your enemies and do good unto them which hate you. Now goes with previous verses I read. Bless them that curse you and pray for them which despitefully use you. And unto him that smiteth thee on one cheek offer also the other, and him that taketh away the cloak forbid not to take thy coat also. Give to every man that asketh of thee, and of him that taketh away thy goods ask them not again. And as ye would that men should do to you, ye do also to them likewise. Go to Matthew 20:10-28. Fear not them which can kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him that is able to destroy both the soul and body in hell, man. It's a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the living God, man. 10:31 of Hebrews. Deuteronomy 20:1-4. When thou goest out to battle against thy enemies, which are these other nations, seest horses and chariots, and a people more than thou, be not afraid of them, because they look bigger, stronger. For the Lord thy God is with thee, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. That's that captivity out of Israel out of there. And it shall be when ye are come nigh into the battle, that the priest shall approach and speak unto thee. 3. And shall say unto them, Hear, O Israel, ye approach this day into the battle against your enemies. Let not your heart faint, your heart which is your mind. Fear not, and let not tremble, neither ye be terrified because of them. For the Lord give us not a spirit of fear, but a power of love and a sound mind, man. For the Lord is your God, and he that goeth with you to fight for you against your enemies to save you. So when the Lord was with Israel, Israel is pretty much undefeated against, as far as defeating their enemies. But when they weren't, when the Lord wasn't with them, their enemies were able to crush them, man. For example, the different captivities, man. Being exiled, being pretty much separated from their power, man. Look at the state of the nation as a collective, man. Romans 14:19. Let us therefore follow after the things which make for peace, and things where one can edify another. Things for peace and ones that benefit and are beneficial and to a great benefit, ultimately to edify and learn from. Exodus 15:3. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord Yahweh is his name. So the Lord is a man of war, austere man, very stern, rigid, severe type disposition, man. (28:4). Give them according to their deeds, their works, and according to the wickedness of their endeavors. Give them after the work of their hands, and render to their deserts. To give them after their deeds, their works, their endeavors, their enterprises, their desires, and according to the works of their hands. through their hands how they implement and do certain things, man. So give them what's in proportionate according to their works, man. Galatians 6 and 7, be not deceived, Yahweh is not mocked, for whatever one sowed, that thou shalt reap. Paraphrasing. So whatever you put into it, you should that's what you're going to get out of it, man. I'm going to go to Romans 13, 1 through 7. Let every soul be subject to the higher powers, for there is no power but of Yahweh. The powers that are ordained of Yahweh. Whosoever therefore resists the power resisteth the ordinance of Yahweh. So the Lord put establishments of power in position. He put powers in position to ultimately follow, man. Because the Lord, the Lord puts He puts even good kings and wise kings, good kings and bad kings in the position of power, man. So the Lord puts these powers in position, man. So we expect to follow it, because ultimately the Lord put them in the position of power. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power resisteth the ordinance of Yahweh. And they that resist shall receive themselves damnation. That's the consequence, man. Because ultimately the Lord puts these key players of position and power, man. For the rules are not a terror to good works, but to evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. For he is the minister of Yahweh to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid. For he beareth not the sword in vain, for he is the minister of Yahweh, and a revenger to execute wrath upon that doeth evil. For a good example on that, we used the police, man. If you do accordingly, it'll be no problem. But if you do contrary to that, the Lord uses that left-hand side, man. And ultimately, that left hand, that's part of the that's part of the power on the left-hand side anyway. Part of the structure power on the left-hand side to execute pretty much the Lord's beating stick on the left-hand side, man. To ones who do contrary or evil, man. Just as example, man. Wherefore we must need be subject, not only for the wrath, but also for the conscience sake. For this cause pay ye tribute also, for they are God's ministers, attending continually upon the very thing. Render therefore to all dues, tribute to whom tribute is due. Give to Caesar with Caesar's and his due, and give to the Lord Yahweh with his due, man. The scripture says, render therefore to all their dues, tribute to whom tribute is due, custom to whom custom, fear to whom fear, honor to whom honor. So, for the most part, we honor the principalities and ordinances that the Lord has set up, man. Of course, there are limitations to that as well, relating to if they go too much contrary to the laws of Yahweh Bashim Yoshah. So there's a balance to that, man. It needs to be, acknowledged and identified. Especially if it goes contrary to certain specific matters, man, that really that would be contrary to the laws of the Lord, man. And I can think of a chapter specifically in Revelations, which is a future prophecy, just to give you a good example of that. Let's continue on. So that was a few scriptures relating to just war. So we in the times of war, man. This is not a time of peace. It's a time of war. Ecclesiastes 3 and 8. Hearing wars and rumors of wars. And that being said, I hope this helps. This is his brother Zayah, which means wolf. I hope it helps in some way. I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rakakadash, Shalom.